When you open MDM for Oracle Hyperion EPM, you'll notice the built-in Hyperion Essbase and Planning models. To load these models, you need to import information from Hyperion. Importing is easy with our wizard. Simply select it from the Services tab, choose the XML file you exported from Hyperion, configure your import, then select the dimensions that you wish to include. Click the Import button, and that's it. When the importer is done, it will publish some stats about your import. When you look at the information that's been imported, what you'll see is you'll see all your information in this Excel-like view. If we click on any individual record, we can see the information, and you'll notice that all the fields that are included match HFM and also Essbase. You'll see tables for custom fields, and you'll see tables for entity fields. One of the nice things about EBX is the ability to create hierarchies. By simply clicking on the View button and selecting the creation of a custom view, I'm going to go ahead and modify this, you can create hierarchies. Every single relationship inside EBX can be used to create a hierarchy. And in this case, we're going to create a hierarchy for a default parent. When we hit Next, we have the option to include information or descriptions on each line. And then when we save this and then apply, what you'll see is you will see the entities organized by default parent. As I said, it's possible to create hierarchies for any relationships. That means that we can also view all the entities by what currency is being used. So, for example, here are all of the different entities in this organization that use the Chilean peso. Viewing hierarchies is not the only thing you can do. If we return back to the default parent view, we can use the hierarchy view itself to edit the hierarchy. For example, moving CA Consoles 1 underneath CA Consoles 2, or making CA Consoles 1 a subordinate of CA Consoles 2. To balance the needs for local versus global control, MDM for Hyperion uses inherited data sets. With inherited data sets, you can choose to inherit either values or relationships or both. By inheriting just the relationships but not the values, you can internationalize. For example, in this case, creating a data set for the Japanese subsidiary that uses Japanese language labels as the account descriptions rather than English. You can also choose to customize the relationships instead of the values. For example, in Germany, you might say that your entity hierarchy is different from your US hierarchy. For example, the organization Chub Kitty may actually fall underneath China ELV rather than falling underneath its F Consoles inactive entities parent. So we've gone ahead and made that change in Germany, and as you can see, Kitty now falls underneath China ELV, but if we go back to the parent and we look at the English version, you can see that Kitty is back where it belongs, right underneath FS Consoles. One thing to note, the inherited data sets still maintain a relationship with their parent. What that means is that I can go back to the original value at any time. For example, if I'm here in Germany and I go back to Chub Kitty and I want to return to what that original value was, I can declick this little gray button here, turn it from white to blue or gray to blue, and it returns the original parent value. How you maintain consistency across time is another element of MDM for Hyperion. Consistency across time is maintained through our data spaces feature. Here we see our current version of Hyperion, and here I see a future version of my dimensions, which is the 2012 Q4. If I want to understand how these two sets different, what I can do is I can use the compare tool. And what compare will allow me to do is compare my current version with the next version, which is Q4. Scroll down, pick that up, and what we see here is we see the comparison tool. And what this shows me is that I have some items that have been added and subtracted. The pluses mean add and the subtracts mean removed. And if we drill into any single one of these particular items, let's look at Germany, for example, what we'll see is we'll see a series of those chevrons again, and those each indicate there's been a change. So if we drill into entity and we drill into one of the sub-entities, we can see that there's a difference between the current version and the future version. It looks like I've taken it up a level. I've taken it from CA Consoles to the root. Obviously, not everyone in an organization has the rights to update or modify these dimensions. That's why MDM for Hyperion has permissions. With MDM for Hyperion, you can create permissions for roles, and these roles can come from things like your local security architecture, like LDAP or Active Directory. And you can set security on virtually any element in the system, including creation of data sets, and in this case, you can actually set different permissions for each field per role. In addition to permissions, you have the ability to define workflows. Workflows define how the individuals who are responsible and accountable for your dimensions interact with each other. Finally, MDM for Hyperion has several ways of exporting information. First, you can export any table, any bits of information, out as CSV files, which can be loaded directly into Excel. And of course, because this is a tool to help you manage dimensions for Hyperion EPM products, we have the ability to export all the dimensions to Planning, Essbase, and HFM. For more information, please visit our website at www.orchestranetworks.com/Hyperion. Thanks, and have a great day.